Hello everyone, welcome to Sweetie Speaks official YouTube channel. Today we are at day 40 of 111 days verification challenge. The skill set which we are focusing on right now is Verilog, and today we are going to learn about parameters in Verilog. Let's see today's question. Usually the parameters can be categorized into three kinds. You need to explain what are these three different kinds of parameters, if possible with a coding example. Then say you have some parameters defined in a module and you want to override these parameters during instantiation of the module. How can you do it? There are some rules for parameters assignment in Verilog. What are these rules? Module, you want to prevent certain parameters from being overridden. There are some parameters in your module which you have defined, and you don't want these parameters to ever get overridden during instantiation. How can you do this? Then, what are the differences between define and using either parameter or def param for specifying variables? There are three things which you can use. One is define, another is parameter, and another is def param. What is the difference between these? What are pros and cons of specifying the parameter using def param construct versus during instantiation? Instead of defining the parameter during the instantiation, if you define it using def param, there are certain pros and cons. What are those? Just list them out. What is the difference between spec param and parameter constructs? There is a spec param construct and there is a parameter construct. What is the difference between them? Then what are derived parameters and when are these derived parameter useful and what are their limitations? How can we override parameters using def param? Explain that. Then there are certain code snippets which I have taken. In one, if you can see, I am using specify and unspecify, and I have spec param. Can you explain the meaning of this, how these parameters are getting assigned? And then here I have used parameter. So just explain the meaning of these close snippets as detailed as possible. Solve these questions today because parameters is again another important concept. We have to define a lot of parameters during coding, especially when you move towards advanced coding. Parameters are an important topic. You need to understand what construct to use, when to use define, when to use parameter, when to use def param, what is the use of this specify and spec param. All these things you need to understand. Please solve these questions today and try to do as many codes as possible with the help of these different parameters. And then tomorrow I'll see you for day 41 challenge. Best luck.